गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। स्वागत है आपको एक और नया व्लॉग में। और आज का व्लॉग में हम लोग कहीं राइड, कहीं शॉर्ट डिस्टेंस, कहीं ब्रेकफास्ट राइड, ये सब कुछ करने वाला है नहीं। ये व्लॉग थोड़ा डिफरेंट होने वाला है क्योंकि इस व्लॉग में आई विल गिव यू सम ऑफ द डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शंस ऑफ दिस करंट बाइक व्हिच आई ब्रॉट, व्हिच इज हिमालयन 452। So what are the things we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the price, the computer bikes which I considered while buying this bike, some of the features of this bike, some of the general viewpoints, and some modifications which I am going to plan for this bike. So stick to this vlog and do watch it, and if you like it, do like, share and subscribe. The ex-showroom price is around 2.83 lakhs, and in Bangalore the tax is around 70,000. In other states it's quite different, but in Bangalore the amount of tax is quite high. And then comes one of the component which is RSA, which I have taken, which was around roughly 1500 to 1700 rupees. The insurance amount was 24k. I didn't take insurance from RE. I took it separately from outside, which was around 18 to 19k from Echo. So if you are buying this bike, you can obviously consider taking it from Echo. By the way, this is not a sponsored from Echo. And on top of that, there was another 5-year extended warranty which was around 7 to 8k. I also didn't take it because I'm not sure whether I would keep this bike for such a long time, or whether I would like this bike, or I will sell it off. So I was not sure, so I didn't take it. For my car, I took a 5-year extended warranty because that made more sense to me, because I was going to keep it for a long time. But for this I didn't take it. Now coming to this particular version, the Hanley Black, this is the costliest version. The cheapest one is around 25k less. So if you are worried about or if you're confused whether to take the cheapest one or the costliest one, I would say that take a bike or take the color which you love it, because it's hardly 25k extra. And if you're paying so much for the bike, why don't you take a bike which you love it? Otherwise you will keep cursing yourself that I should have paid another 25k extra about the bike. Now let's talk about the computer bikes which I considered while buying this bike. The first one was Triumph 400, Scrambler 400. It's not a hardcore off-roader, it's like it's a scrambler, so a kind of off-road and on-road. The seat height was quite high, but the fit and finish of the bike was awesome. So I really loved that bike, but since the seat height was high, I didn't consider it. The next bike was KTM 390 Adventure X and the KTM 390 Adventure normal or standard version. The Adventure X was around the same price of this bike, but the seat height is not low. You lose out lot of electronics like quick shifter, cornering ABS, the TFT display, then the Medzilla tires. So that's why the price is low, but the top end version was around 4.6 Bangalore, so it was quite costly for me. I didn't go for it. Now let's talk about some of the features of this bike. Okay, so this is the new display dash which you can see. From here you can change the ride modes. Now Eco ABS on, then rear ABS off, and then comes the performance ABS on and the performance ABS off, which you can do through this button. Then this is the, like, all the indicator hazard light. Then there is a USB charging point over here. This is a joystick with the help of which you can change. So you can change all the options: the trip 1, trip 2, the kilometer. The per kilometer per liter is coming down 30.1, which is a decent mileage, and I have driven 550.8 kilometers. By the whatever I say about this bike, do not take it as like a source of truth, because I have only driven 550 kilometers. So I will give a very first initial rough impressions of this bike. So with the help of the joystick, you can change some of the options over here: the fuel range, the fuel consumption, voltage, etc., engine temperature, etc., etc. You can also change the display of this bike from analog to digital. Now it says side stand on, neutral, 0 km per liter, time, temperature, ABS on and off. Okay, this is the switch buttons for headlight, and I think these are the same switch buttons which come in Meteor or any other bikes as well in RE, and that is how they do cost cutting. This is 805 mm The normal seat height comes around 825 to 845, and there's a lever over here with the help of which you can change it to 825 to 845. I have taken a custom seat, and that is why this is around 805. This is a short exhaust. This is the Seat tires, and I love these tires. Especially the rear end tires are so good. It looks so good. It is around 140 by 80 R17. The front is around 21 inch. Yeah, this is spoke wheels. This is the headlight. Again, this comes with the Meteor as well. This is the beak, and this is some of the, not a crash guard I would say, but something to protect, and it looks good as well, and you can carry some of the items over here. This is one thing which I have taken from RE. The bash plate is 50% plastic and 50% metal. You can change it, but I won't change it. This is the radiator. There's a radiator grill as an accessory from RE as well. The horn. And what else? Yeah, it turns around 40 PS of power at around 8000 RPM and 40 Newton meter of torque around 5500 RPM. The KTM, the Dominar, and the Triumph also churns around similar power. So there is nothing much of a difference between all these bikes or among all these bikes. It only the weight which matters and how it is being tuned. Okay, now the question which I'm getting, do I get vibrations? Yes, I do get vibrations, but it's around 90 to 120 km per hour. That's when the vibration kicks in, but that vibration is very minimal. Coming from a Thunderbird, it doesn't feel anything, but for a fairly long distance ride for around 200 kilometers, you will feel a slight buzz around your bums, which is nothing, which is not a big deal. You can obviously change the seat, which will make it feel better, but again it will compromise the seat height. What I would say is that if you're a short rider, then you might feel a little bit uncomfortable with this bike, but people do get used to it, and I have got used to it, and I'm around 5'9", 5'10", so I'm fairly flat-footed with this bike. Having said that, this is a very top-heavy bike, and there is a chance to topple if you are a short rider and if you're riding quite high. So be very careful when you're taking turns. Whether it is an off-roader, yes, people are doing off-roading with it. I am not doing off-roading because I do not have that much confidence with this bike as of now. It's only around a week, so I am preferring not to do it. It will make you feel like it's a big bike, like some of our GS and all those there kind of a bike. But yesterday I took a test drive of the Triumph Tiger Sport 660. My god, it's such a balanced bike. I do not understand, both the bikes have the R&D centers at England, but the Triumph is so much balanced you won't feel it. It is around 196 kg curb weight, which means along with fuel, and it is a 17 liter tank. The Triumph Tiger Sport is also similar, but the weight distribution is so balanced you won't feel that you are riding a big bike. You won't feel that it is going to topple. It is highly balanced. That also comes with Showa suspension. This also comes with a Showa suspension, and it is written somewhere over here. And there is a monoshock which you can preload the adjustment, and I have not done it as of now because I don't need it. Whenever a pillion sits over here, the seat height goes a little bit low. There's a sari guard over here which I'll remove because I don't need it. The side stand is quite low, which will scare you if you're trying to get down, so be careful with this as well. So one of the things which I saw, that when I refueled it, both the time the amount of fuel I refueled was around 1300 to 1400, and just at the brink when there was only one or less than one left. This is the fuel meter. That's when I refueled, and it came around 1300 to 1400 rupees, something like that. What are the modifications which I'm planning on this bike? So first of all, if you're trying to take a crash guard over here, this crash guard I have taken from RE because it's small. However, it is short. So if you see that the foot pegs are like outside this crash guard, so if the bike falls, then your foot pegs would be compromised. The motor torque and all those are slightly heavy, but you consider whether if you want to take a motor torque and all those crash guards or not. I have not taken it. Okay, another part is the light. It is very poor, very poor. At night it is very poor, so you have to buy an aux light. The Mad Dog Alpha light is super bright, so you can consider buying a lesser powerful light which would suffice you. Let me see what I buy. Then if I buy, I'll let you know what aux light I plan to buy. Then there is the panniers and all. I do not plan to add any panniers as of now because I am not taking it anywhere for a long ride, super long ride. Whenever I'll take it, I will kind of have a bag over here because it makes it heavy. This top rack is around 7 kgs. If you want a backrest, then you need to change this, and then there would be screws on which you can fit your backrest. The pillion seat comfort, I don't know. I mean, I have not sat on the pillion for a super long time, so I won't be able to give you a good review about it. What else? Yeah, the other thing which I'm modifying is a tire which I'm converting to tubeless, and it is costing me around 10,250 rupees. And I absolutely think that we should do it, because if any time this bike has a puncture, then my god, you'll be super screwed unless you have a lot of Superman power to change the tire, to take everything out. So for me, I do not want to go into that kind of a problem, so I would rather have the tire changed to tubeless. What I would suggest is, do not add lot of accessories in this bike and make it super heavy. It's already lot heavy. It's already 196 kgs. If you add lot of things, you will make it much more heavy, and if for a short ride you won't be able to manage it, or it will be a slightly discomfort. You'll feel slightly discomfort with this bike. So whatever you need, ride this bike for like a 1.5 month and understand the problems with this bike, and then accordingly take a decision what all you need to modify. In case of KTM also, that's a super light bike. People add a lot of accessories and it makes the bike heavy, so do not do that. I would say that's the USP of KTM also, that it's a light bike, so keep it light and do not change it. Yes, the other part is the mirrors. I would like to change it because around 90 to 1 or 100 to 110 km per hour, I felt that it had a slight buzz. It was slightly hazy, but I won't say that it's not a big problem, but I don't know why it was like this. Maybe when I go to service center, I'll ask them and see if the nuts or anything is loose over here, then accordingly I'll take a decision. I'll add a knuckle guard over here by Moto Genius within a month or so. That's one thing which I think you should also consider it. Apart from that, it's a wonderful bike. It's a powerful bike. You will absolutely love it. You slightly rev it and it flies at 110, 120, 130 km per hour. It's dead smooth. So you will absolutely love this bike. Whatever bike you choose, whichever bike you want to buy, first of all, take a test ride. Feel it. If you like it, if you feel the bike from your heart, then only go ahead and buy the bike. If you do not feel it, do not buy it. Do not go with lot of reviews. Do not see lot of reviews. Take idea, but your decision to buy the bike will be yours. Whichever bike you feel comfortable, whichever bike you feel that it's like touching your heart. You're comfortable with the bike, buy that bike only. And do not get confused with the specs and all. You'll forget the specs within a few point of time or some point of time, and it will get dissolved with your thoughts. So yeah, do not get confused, because in this price segment there are a lot of bikes to consider, and it's quite natural for people to get confused or what bike to buy. Anyways, thank you. I hope you like this vlog. Again, if I miss some point, I'll add it. Otherwise, till this point of time, I'll close this vlog. If you like this vlog, again, do like, share and subscribe, and I'll come up with some other video very soon, because I'm planning to travel somewhere else and it will be a fun vlog. So thank you, stay happy, stay safe, and bye bye.